everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Libra, if you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description box where you can learn your entire birth chart. That way, if this isn't resonating with you or you want even more clarification for the week, you can check out your Moon and Rising sign readings for the week. Hopefully that'll help. The description box also contains a link to my book, Why I Do What I Do, and a link to the cards that I'm using. I'll be doing a 5-card general spread for you today using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and then pulling additional message cards from the Medicine Card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. So Libra, like I said, this is a general reading for the week of May 30th till June 6th. So whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I will get you to apply these messages to. That could be finance, travel, health, relationships, etc. Whatever is most prominent for you this week, hopefully these messages are healing and helpful for you, and you can draw some inspiration or some guidance from them. So Libra, I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I call upon Gaia to please bless this reading for Virgo. All right, here we go, first jumper. Cool, so for your central position this week, Libra, you have the Tribe card. This is all about alliances. Not necessarily family, but this is about groups, organizations, concepts, large-scale ideologies, maybe even religion for you. Regardless, this is about finding your place in the world, your position in the world. Where do you belong? Who do you belong with? Who have you outgrown? Are you willing to move away from? And I just mean, get away from, not move in a different city. But are you willing to move away as opposed to towards something else? This group or set of ideologies, in order to reach a higher potential with who really is your tribe. So you might have undergone a period of personal development and growth over these past few weeks. If you're not searching for a new tribe, if a new tribe or a different tribe isn't what's going on here, it could be that this is your safety net, that this is where you feel the most supported, where you feel most respected, that you are most accomplished, etc., is within the tribe. So again, set of ideologies, beliefs, organizations, concepts, but usually group, right? These are group activities and group concepts. So the energy that you're just coming out of for the week, that you're just leaving behind as you come into the week, Libra, is the card TikTok. This is the card of both time and timelessness. So however that's going to work for you this week, you could feel as though ultimately one or the other. You've run out of time and you have to make a choice here, or you have to develop something here quickly, or the very opposite. You have all the time in the world. You know exactly what you need to do. You've got a long-term plan, 5 or 10-year plan for it, and you're starting at this level. You're starting with your support base as a support for others and who's supporting you. Either way, it's a really positive place to come from, particularly what you're coming into for the week, because you have in your outside influence or conscious position here, you have the card Imagine. This is something that could very well be in play here with both the tribe and the outside influence or conscious influence position. This just means what is outside you that's influencing your world this week. And also, even if it is something that you're bringing to the table, It's consciously being brought to the table. You might even be starting from zero, starting at scratch. You have to, perhaps you're starting something over, something that was put aside or wasn't, you didn't imagine that this would fit into your life right now, but now there's time, or now you're making time for it. So there is a lot of chatter and communication and activity around the imagination process. If these were reversed, I would say that there's a lot of internal chatter and so forth. But this, because it's an outside influence and then the tribe is underneath it, I think that this is developmental through relationships, okay? So that you're imagining together best outcomes and what you can provide each other, and etc. But long-term planning here. And then in your internal influence or subconscious position card is the Yang card. This is what you're bringing to the table, whether or not you're aware of it. This is a masculine energy. It just means that it's an action. It's action orientated. Its planet is the sun. There's a lot of excitement here, even if it's hushed or subdued somehow. You've got a lot of excitement around this stage of things this week, and you're ready to put in the time and energy to do what needs to be done. You could even be directing how this comes about or how these conversations manifest and so forth. But ultimately, it's an action card. And then for the probable outcome position, we have the card Not For You. And we'll look at these up close in just a moment, but you'll see that this is a chessboard and there's a little fortune cookie in the center with the little fortune saying nope. It may not be the worst thing in the world for you, because here it is that you're in the imagination process, you're going to figure things out, you're going to whittle away, for example, what isn't working. Like I said at the very beginning, it could be, yeah, you're developing a new phase of things in relationships and organizations and so forth. But many times, in order to move forward, we need to close the door on something else. And I think this is all this is doing right here. It's saying, you're spending so much time and energy here in creating this new or revised version of your tribe or your camaraderie or your organizational energy, or where you belong, for example. And you may find, you know what, it isn't what I wanted. In order to move forward, I do need to let that go, etc. So let's look at these up close each just for a moment. Like I said, here's the tribe. It's just the cutest little hut. There's lots of different birds around. They have got their little luggage here, and it's a little family. There's someone looking after someone else. If you're the person who's being looked after, I would suggest being really gracious about that, and vice versa. If you're the one looking after somebody else, I feel like they will be gracious about it and really give you a lot of praise for that. Ultimately, this is a week for you, Libra, where you are going to find out exactly where you stand. It's because you want to figure it out, though. This is on your clock, okay? I think you might even be tired of sort of playing the middle or making everyone happy or playing the part, etc. I think that's gotten old for you, and you're really putting your foot down about something here, about intention and not only intention, but belonging, groupthink. In your recent history or just coming out of energy, like I said, we have your TikTok. This is an action card, obviously, but you can see the clock is being sort of thrown into the air, but it has a hot air balloon. So it could be suspended. It could be that you have more time than you thought you did. It could be that you have time on your hands here that you could be doing other things with. It could be that there has been so much time in your hands, or there hasn't been anything set in stone or no schedule, so that you are over contemplating things, as in a misuse of imagination, and then taking action on it, which is going to really not work out for your benefit. So if that's at all the case here, if you're too much time in your hand, over imagining things, taking action on the over imagination thing, you might find you're kicked out of or kick yourself out of something that was really stable for you, that was benefiting you. And you're going to find that what you thought was going to happen at the end of that, as in getting your own way at the end of that, isn't. And that's going to be a drag for you. If that's not the case, like I said, this, if in a very positive level, this is really just about you finding your new tribe, your new peer group, or reinventing it. You've got the time to do it, or you're using your time wisely, you're planning wisely, and you're taking action. You're setting up meetings, you're setting up phases of development. You're sort of putting this into action. If that's the case, that's lovely. Everyone will benefit from this. However, there will be something from this at the end of it, no matter what is concluded at the end of the week, that you will find that you have to shed one way or the other. I don't see it being shocking for you. I don't see this being terribly upsetting. Like I said, if this is something you're working on with somebody else, I think you're ready to let go in order to move ahead. But as I said a moment ago, if this is over imagination, you're could be doing something else with your time, but you're gonna try to force something here. You may find that that's a little bit of a downer. So just beware about how you play on your intentions this week and what your imagination is being used for, particularly around alliances, and particularly because this is an action card and there could be a sudden movement or a sudden decision here that you may not dig the end result of. So one of your additional outcome cards is the antelope. Believe it or not, I don't get this card very much, so I'm just going to double check its meaning. Let's see what antelope is saying. Oh, forgive me here. I normally know all these cards. Wow. Okay, so antelope is the action card. And this is literally the same thing. They're two different decks, so they have different fables and different tales behind why each of them talk about action. It's action, like anything, in and of itself isn't a negative thing. It's how it's used, right? It's like money, it's time, it's love, it's sex, it's everything. In and of itself, not a bad thing. How is this being used for you this week, Libra? Now there are two very definitive levels of action for you. What action are you taking this week? And is it in congruence with the imagination stage? You got to remember, imagination is on the conscious forefront here around developmental relationships, around organizational long-term planning relationships here. I anticipate this being wonderful for you. I suspect that this is about taking action because you know the time is right to let go of something that wasn't working for you and you're just ready. You're over it. Okay? If that's the case, wonderful. I hope that's the case for you. Otherwise, if you feel at all like you could wait or you could put something off or give it an extra day's thought, etc., try that route before you take definitive action, just because you might find at the end of it it's not entirely what you wanted here. I don't recall showing you this up close. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is the probable outcome card. This is a game that's suspended in midair. You can see a faint hand holding it in midair and the fortune cookie with nope. Whatever is going on here is going to play out or feel like a game. But hey, that's how a lot of people look at life, right? The game of life. So, and the final card for your reading, Libra, is the soulmate card. This is always gorgeous to have. This means that no matter what is going on for you this week, you do have someone to rely on and someone relies on you. So if things feel rough or like you need some extra support, please reach out. You do have a lot of support. Soulmate does not always mean a romantic relationship. It can. But by and large, for most of humanity, soulmate relationships are dear friendships. And there could be someone that you just need to connect with, someone that you need to run something by. Soulmate could be in tune here with the card, the tribe, as well. It could be that your soulmates are within the tribe or you're leaving something that was difficult in order to find your soulmate situation with your work partners or organization partners, etc. So if this isn't a romantic development for you, it's all about friendships and camaraderie and support. So beautiful way to end the reading for you. I hope you liked the reading. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I do upload weekly readings for your sign. And if you think another Libra would like this reading, do share it, and hopefully they will get something that's positive out of this as well. So again, thanks so much for watching, Libra. Please take good care of yourself, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.